presenter this morning has his own computer company that he runs out of Glendale, out of his house. He builds computers, he repairs computers, he makes YouTube videos. He's a man of all trades. And there's a new YouTube out very recently called Scamming the Scammers. I highly recommend it to you. Have a look at it. And our speaker is no stranger to most of you, because most of you have had him help fix your computers, I'm sure. I have many times. And here he is, without further ado, Carrie Holtzman.
Check, 1, 2, test. That's a great intro, thank you. No pressure on me at all to deliver on that. All right, well, it's the first presentation here for me at Sunflower this year in 2015. So thank you for welcoming me back, and let me welcome all of you back. We'll start there. How many of you have not seen me before? Quite a few, that's great. As Joe mentioned, I have my own computer repair, sales, and upgrade business out of Glendale, and I've been fixing computers professionally since the early 90s, and I worked for Intel and APS and SRP, and before I struck out on my own. And then, that doesn't sound good, does it? Struck out on my own. Before I went out on my own, I was struck out. And, not yet anyway. I did a book called The Healthy PC, and the publisher, this was back in 2003, the publisher, McGraw-Hill, wouldn't do anything to promote the book. And it really upset me because I spent 9 months of my life perfecting this opus magnum, you know, this magnum opus. I'll get the words right. It's early. And so what I ended up doing is I made arrangements with user group communities to travel around Arizona and Southern California and Las Vegas and present my book to everybody. And I've never kind of come off of that tour. I mean, the book is old and outdated. It's like old bananas now. It's perishable. The information's for Windows 95, 98, Millennium. Anybody here running Windows 95, 98, or Millennium? Good answer. Wait, hey! Security? No, seriously, you're gonna have a security problem. Anybody here running XP? It's brave of you. I do. I don't admit it. I just want to give you a hard time for doing it. It's really a bad idea to run XP. What I'm going to do today is a little different than what I normally do. Normally what I do is I come up here and I try and pull some questions from you folks and do my best to answer whatever questions on your mind. And we'll still touch on that a little bit. In fact, I don't want to discourage that at all. If you have a question that's on your mind, at any point, feel free to raise your hand or shout it out, and I'll do my best to answer it. I just got connected. The ballroom Wi-Fi isn't working for me, but one of the ones out the, whatever one I'm connected to, oddly enough, courtyard Wi-Fi I'm connected to. That's all right, as long as I'm online. What you see before you on the screens is my homepage for YouTube. That's the spelling of my name, and that's what the page kind of looks like there. And one of the more popular videos that I did recently is about folks who call and tell you your computer has a virus, and they want access to your computer to help you remove it. If you could give me the keys to your house, I will help you empty the contents of that house. Because those contents are making you sick, and I'm here to help you. I don't want you to be sick, so I'll just tell me where the key is and I'll take all that out. I'll come in with lots of equipment. Oh yeah, it's flashing red, there's something really bad here. What is that, a TV? Better get that out of here, that's causing problems. Well, they trick you. They run fake programs on your computer that tells you have a virus when in fact you don't. What I did is had a call from one of my customers in a panic. Said, look, I've got this call on the other line. I put the guy on hold. He says, my computer has a virus And these viruses these days are very difficult to remove. And since you're my computer guy, I thought, you know, let me call you first. I don't know what to do about this. He claims he's from Microsoft. I said, you do this. And this is the advice I'm going to give all of you in this room. If you get this call, you say, you know what, I don't deal with that computer stuff. My son does that. Or my husband does that. Or your grandson, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Make it someone personal. No, don't say, hey, listen, I got this computer tech guy. Don't tell him that. They want to know that they're dealing with an amateur. So you tell them. So what I told my customer, I said, you tell him your husband does the computer stuff. You don't do the computer stuff. His name is Carrie and his number is, and then give him my number. Tell him I'm at work right now. The best time to reach me is afternoon, Pacific time. So she does that. And the next day I start setting up equipment, and I'm ready with a computer that is got nothing important on it, that runs really, really slow. And I recorded what happened next. In a video I called Scamming the Scammer, which I'm just going to do a quick search for right here. This one's mine. And this video, I start out by showing exactly what I'm doing to record the video, how I'm doing it in a way that the guy on the phone won't know that I'm recording. And it requires 2 computers for me to do this. And that's what allows you. This is a long video. This video goes on for about 90 minutes. But let's see if we can get this. Right? Does that voice sound familiar to anybody? Okay. Every technical support call ever. I see event viewer local. There's a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
Alright, now do you have any idea, any component what the event viewer is?
I guess it views events. What I'm trying to do in this video is I'm trying to pretend like I'm an average ordinary computer user, just like you guys, and I'm concerned, but I'm skeptical. And so those are the questions I'm asking. I guess I'm going to have to move that. Those are the questions I'm asking this gentleman, and then I start bringing up little hints that I know a little bit more than he realizes, and he doesn't pick up on any of it. For example, he introduces himself as Steve Wilson. Now, from that accent, does that sound like Steve Wilson to you? And I asked him if that's a common name in India. And then he wants $350. He wants $350 to fix his computer, and I want to know how much is that in rupees. And he says, well, it doesn't matter. I said, well, let me look it up. But I grabbed control of the computer and I typed in $350 to rupees. It's kind of fun. And I said, you know, it's great that you're from India because, you know, Indians, Hindus, the Hindu religion, karma, you know, Gandhi, Ganesh and Vishnu, Buddha, they believe in karma. They believe that what you do bad in this life will return to you bad in the next life. Do you believe that? He says, yes, I've heard that. I said, yeah, that's what I love about Indians, you know. They're honest people. Oh yes, Indians are very honest people. So this goes on for 90 minutes, and it's actually quite funny. And if you want to check it out, it's available 24/7. You can watch it in pieces if you like. I've tried to trim it down. I've tried to make it into a 20-minute video. And then when I do that, it loses a little bit of the comedy. And the other thing it really loses is watching this guy have an answer for every question I have. Like when I have concerns, it says, you want to connect to my computer? He says, yes. And he says, go to this website and enter this code. And I do that. And this message comes up and it says, do not accept connections only accept connections from people that you trust. And I said, okay, I got this pop-up. He goes, yeah, click OK. I said, well, let me read it. It says, only accept connections from people you trust. So how do I know I can trust you? No, I sent you that. Okay, you sent me a link that says not to click the link. That's what you sent me? Yes, yes. No, listen, if I was a hacker, I could get into your computer without you doing anything. That's how you know I'm honest. I'm giving you the code. I said, well, look, this is all complicated for me. If you can just get into my computer without me doing anything, why don't you just go ahead and do that? No, 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 I'm not a hacker. I'm here to help you. Oh, you're here to help me, that's right. He's here to help me. Apparently this wallet is causing my sciatica. What do I know? I'm just a big, stupid, rich American, just like everybody here in America. So I don't deserve to have the money I have. There's no reason he should feel any guilt or remorse. But yeah, that video turned into another video where this company, here's what a lot of you do. You call your family member, your loved one, your friend, your trusted confidant, whoever it is, and you say, I have this problem. He says, oh, is that a Dell? Yeah, it's a Dell. You need to call Dell support. So what do you do? What do you do? You go, oh, what's the number for Dell support? And then you look through this, and you're like, wow, there's a lot of Dell supports in here. Well, and depending on how your computer's configured, Google's been doing a little bit better at this. This one, like for example, I've got a program on here you can download for free called Web of Trust that isn't gonna let me go there. But this is a fake support site. I'm gonna tell it to go to the site anyway. It says, great, tech support is only a phone call away. What does this have to do with Dell? Nothing as far as I can tell. So here's the next thing you should do if you're going to look something up on the internet, is punch the phone number as your next search. So 800-237-3901. And let's see if this comes up with one company or several. Just computer support. That's all it says. Generic computer support is what I'm looking at. Online tech support. I had a note here, if I brought it with me. Here we go. You're gonna like this one. I'm gonna Google this, you're gonna love this. I got a number for you guys. Are you ready? You might want to write this down. This number is amazing. This phone number, this one phone number, offers support for, who's gonna keep track? Are you ready? You can keep track. This is Hotmail support, Gmail support, McAfee support, Hotmail support, Gmail support, Gmail support, Google Chrome support, Belgian password recovery support. Wow. Common computer problems support, Gmail again, Microsoft Excel technical support number, Belkin router support number, callercenter.com, Gmail, it's all associated to the same phone number. How to remove the FBI Money Pack virus pop-up, just call this number.
Could you read out that phone number?
Yeah, can you imagine this one place can steal from all these different avenues? This is not real. I don't actually want you to, unless you want to show this to somebody, I don't want you to call these people. This is just showing you whatever you want to hear. You know what? I need support for my Dell computer, so I type in Dell support, and that phone number comes up. And I call them, and I go, I got a Dell. And they go, great, we can help you. Your Dell support? Yes. Oh, no, I'm sorry, it's an HP. I always do that. No, that's okay, we're HP support too. It's funny because it's true. So, customer of mine the other day had a question with a new version of QuickBooks. And when you buy QuickBooks, it comes with a couple free support calls. I don't know why they didn't use them, but they went to Google. I think they thought they were going to be charged. And Intuit is not not an inexpensive company. So they Googled for Intuit support and found a third-party Intuit support, which is a lot cheaper. So I just cleaned those viruses off yesterday. Yes?
Are you saying, hello?
Can we bring up the microphone for...
It's okay. Are you saying that every one
one of those on that list is a scammer?
They all have the same phone number. Everybody on that list has that phone. I Googled the phone number. Instead of Googling somebody's name, so the first thing I would do is Google this, I need Dell support. And this company comes up with this phone number. So I type in that phone number and I Google that next, just to verify, is it pointing to one place? How many search results am I getting from this phone number? I should get a consistent result. It should point to Dell, or it should point to whoever it actually is, but it's not. This goes on for page after page after page after page after page of numerous companies. Oh, look, HP printer customer care. And so what they're doing is they're just flooding the search engine with different websites with that phone number that all funnel into a call center. More than likely it's in India. Sometimes they're in Pakistan, though. Everything I know so far has been in India. In the scamming the scammer videos, excuse me, I'm just getting over a cold here. In the, oh, that's lovely. In the scamming the scammer video, the guy said he was from New York, but his caller ID said he was from Mississippi. Now, have you been to Mississippi? There are not too many guys named Steve Wilson who talk like this in Mississippi. There might be one or two. Not making fun of it, it's just an observation. I'm kind of making fun of it. So, you can initiate the call to a scammer by pulling up incorrect Google results when you're looking for help. Google is not always your friend. Most of the time it is. So be smart about it. So, for whatever money my customer thought they might have saved by not calling into it, they paid me. So, the guy from, the guy that they called wanted $500. He put a program, grabbed control of the computer, put a program on it that said it had viruses, which it didn't. He wanted $500. She said, no, it's too much, I'm not gonna do it. Then he started getting belligerent and rude, and that's when she realized something was wrong. Using foul language, calling her names, telling her she was stupid. No professional would obviously talk to you that way. And for some reason, a lot of us as Americans still are polite to the other person on the other end of the phone. Like, we wait for them to finish talking. I don't know why you wait for them to finish talking. The minute it goes south, I just hang up the phone. Just be done. You don't have to wait for your turn and say, okay, I'm not gonna talk to you. Let me give you peace of mind. They're not listening to you. I promise you. You're a bad, horrible person. They don't care what you think. They will talk on top of you. No, you're an idiot because you don't understand how I'm trying to help you. No, you're a thief. I am not a thief. I'm providing a service here, you ignorant moron. That's how indignant they am about what they're doing. So I want you guys to be protected from that, or be aware of it. And the way they get you is by scaring you. We noticed your computer has a virus. So that's the phone call you get. When you get that phone call, you say, call my husband, call my son, call whoever you want to call me. Doesn't matter. Give him my name, give him my number, and say, he deals with that computer crap. I just play solitaire. I don't deal with it. That's his thing. And he'll kill me if I touch it and change anything. It's a common family dynamic. They've heard it a million times. Now, when you tell them that the person you want to call them is Carrie Holzman and his phone number, they should immediately not call you back. Okay, they'll either they've never heard of me, in which case, time for a new video. Or it's most likely the case they have heard of me, they will take you off their list, and they will never call you again. If you just say, don't call me again, they're just gonna keep calling you. You say, stop calling me, they're just gonna keep calling you. They've got nothing to lose. They're in a basically risk-free environment. They can just wear you down. But once they find out, oh, that Carrie guy that made that video, that video got really popular, if I can just brag for a minute. This gentleman named Brian Krebs was a journalist for the Washington Post. He saw my video, And he's got his own blog now. He doesn't work for the Washington Post anymore. He does a thing on security. And you'll see that he did a whole article on my video and explained what the problem is. And he's got an excellent book about how this all works, where all this money is coming from, and what the incentive and the motive is for these people to do this. And the amount of money is staggering. And I'll give Brian a little plug here, even though I'm not here to sell you anything. Over at Amazon, Brian has a book out called, I'll just put his name in, Brian Krebs. Just came out, Spam Nation, there it is. So for $15, $16, he gets into the details of following the money and using his experience as a journalist. He goes into the history and the culture of the underground world where spam gets made, and along the way touches the community's participation in online criminal enterprises, identity theft, botnet creation, money laundering, data breaches, and much, much more. So if that's of any interest to you, I suggest you pick up his book, or maybe see if the local library has it. If not, encourage them to pick it up. He's a well-respected journalist. Now, I don't know if I saw you guys since this happened, but yeah, this happened. Did I graduate? Do I seem smarter to you? If I just had a cigar, it would be like words of wisdom are spewing forth. I find that I use them mostly to read, but it's really not helping me write, so it's not really helping me read what I wrote. I've got a bunch of notes here, and one of the things that I liked from a security company is a program. There's an antivirus program called EmsiSoft. Anybody ever heard of them? EmsiSoft? Nope. Well, EmsiSoft and I got acquainted because of a blog entry that they did on their website. So here at EmsiSoft.com, you'll see they've got a blog. There's the security blog right there. And let's see. Oh, they actually really keep this up a lot. But what they posted was something I really enjoyed. It was 40 reasons you don't need antivirus. All right, let's take a quick look at 40 reasons why you don't need an antivirus. Now, this is sarcasm. Okay? Reason number one, you may not need an antivirus is because you don't share files and links with your coworkers. 2, you don't do your banking online. 3, you never use the internet for adult entertainment, shopping, or online games. 4, you never use public Wi-Fi at your local coffee shop, library, or on a plane or any other public place. 5, you believe the government would never spy on its citizens. 6, you can spot a phishing scam when you see one. 7, you don't share your computer with anyone, not even your family members, you stingy, selfish. So you know exactly what's going on. You trust your grandma's homemade chicken soup to protect you against all kinds of infections. So who needs antivirus? You don't need to share your Wi-Fi connection with anyone. You won't do it, not even for your family members. You work at a security company. So yeah, you don't need. You work at Sony, different story. You never click on links that your friends or family send you, right? You never do that, so you wouldn't need antivirus. You don't, you and all the people you know are immune to social engineering tactics, and you'd never share your personal information like your birthday, your address, or something else, would you? Of course you wouldn't. And you have a firewall which protects you against all malware, right? You only use trusted email providers such as Yahoo, Outlook, and Gmail. Those are safe, right? You don't believe in ransomware. Therefore, it does not exist. You always read a company's privacy policy in full. We'll skip down. Number 26, you don't have a smartphone. Well, you don't need antivirus. You only use 128 character long passwords with alphanumeric characters and special signs. And you change that password every month and you don't share it with anyone, and so do all your friends, right? Oh, and you host your own email server that can't be accessed externally, and you own a hack-proof computer. You think a pup only stands for a four-legged pet. A pup is a potentially unwanted program. You never download freeware. No, you won't do that. If you do download something, you only download it from large download portals from trusted vendors like Netflix or Instagram, right? Oh, I like this one. The reason you don't need antivirus is because you have your own in-house tech support, and they like nothing better than to clean and reinstall your system every couple of days. So, all skepticism aside, I'm going to read what it says here on the screen. Even the most careful of users are vulnerable to viruses, spyware, adware, nagware, trojans, worms, and other types of malicious software known as malware. Even if you think you browse carefully and only visit websites you trust, the website itself could be compromised. The people building malware are motivated by profit. And if they can't steal from you directly, they'll look for something that they can turn around and sell. And this might be processing your network resources in your computer, or it might be your social security number. The bottom line is there's so much money involved in digital scams, identity theft, data breaches, and other digital or mobile fraud that creating and spreading malware is big business nowadays. Much of it is sold to or created by organized crime to capture financial information and other sensitive data. Now, you may think, how many of these viruses are created by the antivirus companies to create a need for their products and drum up business? Well, it's actually quite simple to prove. It's technically impossible for antivirus companies to manufacture the sheer volume of number of viruses produced, more than 75,000 a day. Good anti-malware software will simply create that extra layer of protection needed to stay safe in the digital world. As they say, prevention is better than treatment. I thought they said prevention is the best medicine. Well, anyway, it's best to stop viruses and malware in their tracks before they wreak havoc. For basically 11 cents a day, you can save yourself a lot of headache, and then that's their blog post. I don't represent them in any way. I liked their approach. I don't like all these bad things are going to happen to you approach, the scare, the fear-mongering that, I'll say it, McAfee and Norton used. The big guys will use it. So I called up the folks at EmsiSoft, I did a little research into their software, and I said, all right, how much is it? It's $39.95 a year. $39.95 a year, all right. And does it work as an antivirus? They said, yes, but most of what's being released today, less than half of 1% are viruses. What's really being released are all this other malware, and that's really where our focus is on. But we're catching viruses too, they're just not the threat they used to be. So I looked up a few reviews of independent YouTubers such as myself who've done reviews on the software, and they all seem to like it. So I said, listen, here's something I'd like to do. I don't think, when I go talk to my audiences and I do my presentations, I don't think they will have heard of you. And I see on your website, anybody can go there and get a free 30-day trial. I see it. I said, I'll be honest, we have a great opportunity here, but there's nothing in it for me. Other than you go, wow, he's a really nice guy. Give me free licenses to give to my audiences for 1 year. If they like your product, it's a lot easier to hit that renew button than to do the research to find something to replace it. And I think you'll have a bunch of new customers. So how many of you in this room would like a free license for EmsiSoft Anti-Malware? It's the only protection you would need for your computer. You wouldn't need anything else for 1 year for free. Well, a little less than half the room. A little disappointed. I'd like to see more of you step up, but here's the way we're going to do this. I have 500 license codes to give away on this season's tour. And they're going to be first come, first serve. If you're already an EmsiSoft customer, which I don't think any of you are, then this won't, you won't apply for this. This is just for new customers only. right? That's the whole point of it. They're trying to drum up a customer base. They're a small company. They don't have the big marketing budget of McAfee or Norton. It's a decent product at a fair price, so I'll endorse it because I like their approach. I like that they're not scaring people. I like that they're using sarcasm and humor to get their points across. So, at the end of my presentation, I have business cards up here. Please feel free to pick one up. And if you would like a 1-year license code for EmsiSoft, I'd like you to send me an email and just request it. And I will email you back your code. Now, I'm not going to keep track of who got all the codes. So if you lose your code, I don't know which code I gave you. That's basically the way it's going to happen. Because it's going to be, I think, 100 codes I'll give away on YouTube and 500 in audiences like this. So it's going to get real confusing for me. I stand to make $0.00 on this. If you renew or you don't renew, a year from now, I won't make any money on it. I'm just telling you. I just think this is a good win-win-win for everybody. I'm here presenting something to you, a new opportunity, something for you to try. This is for PCs, not for Macs, obviously. And if you don't like it, you take it off your system, you have nothing to lose. Yes?
Is it good for one computer only?
Is it good for one computer only? I was afraid somebody was going to ask me that question. I haven't even used this product myself outside of just looking at the reviews and getting familiar with how it works. But if we take a look at the website here, where it says 11 cents a day, that should take us to, there it is. It's $39.95, runs on XP, Vista 7 and 8. It's version 9. I have to assume it's for one computer only. I don't know. I know some places will say you can install it on 3 computers, but what you have to understand is the license code is good for a year, regardless of when you installed it on system 2 or 3. So the minute you installed it on system 1, the year starts ticking down. And then if 4 weeks later you install it on system 2, and 2 months later you install it on system 3, they all expire at the exact same time, which is 12 months from the time it was activated on system 1. That sometimes gets confusing, it upsets customers, and that's why you may see companies find a different approach to offering multiple computers on a single license. Because people are like, well, I didn't get a year's use out of that second one. It'd be like if you had a license on your car and I said you could share this on 3 cars. When the tags expired, it won't change, regardless of when you moved it from one vehicle to another. Software licenses are handled much the same way as a vehicle license. There was a hand up over here. Over here? Yes, sir.
Will it coexist peacefully with whatever antivirus, malware software you presently have, or do you have to uninstall it?
Will it coexist with other antivirus and anti-malware? I don't know. I don't know. Ideally, you wouldn't need any other antivirus or anti-malware. All you would need is this one product. The more you weigh your system resources down, the slower your computer goes. And you can have so much protection that you can't move. Have you ever been bundled up in the wintertime with your long johns and then your jeans and then your snowmobile suit and then your mittens and then, you're getting ready to go out in the snow. Can't move real quick. So my advice to you would be to only use this product and to remove other products, strictly not because of whether or not it's going to get along, but for the sake of your computer running faster, and that you're doubling up efforts where it's not necessary. Now, no single antivirus product or anti-malware product can protect you 100%, and this is no different. It really becomes a question of what do you prefer? Is the interface easier to use? Does it seem like your computer runs faster with it? Does it seem to catch more stuff? That's really something you're going to have to determine on your own through your own experience. So I would say, whatever your current antivirus is, make a note of what your license code is so you can reinstall it later if you want to put it back on. Then you can put this on, you activate it with the license code I give you, and try it out. You might have a new favorite security software. And it may end up saving you money. It may be cheaper than what you're paying for your current security software. Yes, in the back.
In past years, we've talked and went to your website and downloaded the malware.
Yep.
Are you saying this is better than what you originally recommended?
No. I'm not saying because neither product can protect you 100%. I've got a McDonald's burger and I got a Burger King burger. They're both burgers, they're both going to fill you up, they're both worth or sell for about the same amount of money. They're both safe for you to ingest. I want you to be aware of its existence, and I want you to expand your horizons and get out of your comfort zone of whatever you're using and try something else that at the very least you know is safe. The way people get themselves in trouble is, let's say their antivirus expires and they go, well, I want to find something cheaper. They start Googling, and before you know it, they're calling me. Because it's hard to know what's real and what's not real on Google, or on the internet for that matter. There are a number of steps you can use to protect yourself, and I've talked about those numerous times in past presentations here. Making sure Windows is up to date, making sure if you have Java that it's up to date, making sure if you have Flash that it's up to date, if you have Adobe Reader that it's up to date, Google Chrome that it's up to date, Firefox that it's up to date. You sensing a theme here? Every program you use has a check for updates option. And you should be hitting that button at every opportunity you get, at least once a week. And certainly if you have a computer, you leave here for 6 months, first thing I would do when I got here would be to go to Windows Update and keep going back to Windows Update and restarting and going back until it says there's no more updates before I would start using that computer. It is not an appliance like a toaster. You could take it off a shelf, plug it in, and start using it, because the internet keeps evolving, and if your computer's been off, it hasn't been getting those updates to evolve alongside it. So then it's not prepared. It's not secure anymore for today's internet like it was 6 months ago when you left, because it sat dormant. So this is how people get themselves in trouble. Which makes me a terrible businessman, because, you know, then I have nothing to fix, more often than not. So now, go out, Google your own antivirus, and then call me. I have a couple new toys here I'll show you. All right, let me get my glasses out of the way.
Sir?
Sir? Are you talking to me? What can I do for you?
Did you say this is just for PCs, not laptop?
A PC is a laptop or a desktop. PC runs Windows. PC stands for a personal computer. A PC generally refers to a Windows-based computer. Technically, an Apple is a PC, but for whatever reason in the industry, we call it Apples or Macs. And Windows computers are often called IBM-compatible computers, Windows computers, Microsoft computers, PCs. This...
I have a question. Can we go back to when you type in that single phone number and you got...
I'm trying to figure out who's talking.
Right here.
Oh, okay.
Type in that single phone number and you got page after page after page.
Yeah.
Is that something that Google could detect and get rid of somehow?
Yeah.
Why don't they?
I don't know. My guess is they're going to tell you that they are doing it, and that they just keep getting replaced. As fast as they can delete them, they replace them. That would be my guess. But you think certain things could just be permanently blocked. Like anything with that phone number would be permanently blocked. So then the scammer stops using that phone number. Then someone legitimate gets it and says, hey, how come we're not showing up on Google? Well, because that phone number's been blacklisted. When was that? 2.5 years ago. Yeah, well, we only got the number 6 months ago. Could you unblacklist it? Well, how do we know you're not the scammer trying to fool us into telling us that you're a different person? You need to send us some identification. For one number? For one search? No, they're not going to do it. They have to have another system, because that's not going to work. You know, I've looked at websites that were clearly fraudulent, and then I've looked for reviews on those websites. And you see these reviews that go, warning, these people are scammers. Watch out for these jerks. And you see one that go, I didn't have any problem at all with them. I thought they were very professional. Who do you think wrote that one? The scammer wrote it, that's right. So you can't rely on Google. You have to rely on taking care of yourself. That's the bottom line. That's why we have uninsured motorist insurance, right? We can't guarantee that you can't make people go out and get car insurance, so you just have to protect your car. So that's all you can do. So that's all I'm trying to do is raise some awareness here, make you guys more empowered, so that when you do get that phone call, and you will get it if you haven't gotten it, you'll get it. Your computer's infected, or it's the IRS, and you're in trouble. And every time I say this, somebody comes out and says, well, it's racist. But I'm going to say it anyway. And that is, when that call has that Indian accent, it's a scam. Every single time. Now, when you call them, that's different. Like when you call Dell and they have their support center in India, you're talking to a real support person. Assuming you called the real Dell. If you've ever been to India, I haven't. My understanding is these call centers are often either right next door to each other or in the same building. Or half of the employees are doing legitimate support and the other half are doing fake support. I did another video with a company called Omnitech Support. And I did a search for Dell support. Omnitech support came up. And I did this video where I called and said, my computer's running really, really slow. I have to talk and type at the same time here. And I think it has a virus. Can you check it? And it was a clean install. It was just a cheap computer. And they said, oh, it's got viruses on it. Oh yeah, they made all kinds of stuff up. And I recorded it, put it online. This one's not as funny as the other one, because this is all being done through typing on a keyboard. I'm not actually talking to anybody. And right when it comes time for me to give them the money they want, first they wanted 149. I said, I don't have 149. I only have, I could do like 99. Oh, well, we have a special today for $99. Can we get the microphone over here, please? And that's when I disconnected the call. I published this, and then I got a phone call, and this guy, I'm like, hello, can I help you? He says, yes, is this Carrie Holzman? Yes, it is. We're trying to send you a registered letter. I was wondering if you could verify your address for me. Who is this? I'm a lawyer, I represent Omnitech Support. And I said, you're a lawyer? And you represent Omnitech Support? How do you sleep at night? Do you think I'm stupid enough that I'm going to give you my address so you can have me served? Let me tell you something. You're a big boy lawyer. You do your due diligence. You find out where I am. You send a process server when I'm at home. Find me, serve me, and if you've got something to say to me, you say it in front of a judge. Have a nice day. I honestly don't know why he called. Now I'm looking over my shoulder. What's that guy looking at me for? Carrie who? I don't know who that is. No, you got the wrong guy. Serving somebody like me can be very difficult. I'm going to make it very difficult. But then somebody sent me an article just recently. Microsoft sues fake support and this was published on December 18th, just a few weeks ago, well, just about a month ago. And one of the parties named in the lawsuit Omnitech Support. So I don't think they're going to be leaving. I think they're going to be leaving me alone for a little while. I think they're going to have their hands full with Microsoft's attorneys. I did, however, contact Microsoft, make them aware of my video, and let them know that if they needed any expert witness testimony, if there's anything I can do to help, I'm available at there. Just give me a call, send me an email, use my video in court if you like. It's an objective view of the events as they took place that shows a crime in progress that I stopped before it occurred. But it was clearly becoming a crime in progress. It shows them falsely identifying themselves as Microsoft certified technicians, which they are not. And since the suit was filed, Omnitech changed their support page to no longer have the Microsoft certified logo. Okay, with the microphone?
Yeah, you had up earlier, but I think yesterday I looked for FedEx tracking or something. I think in days past I looked for Huntington Bank, which is the bank I use. My point is, when you go look for something like that or some topic on Google, what you really want might be the 5th or 6th thing down.
That's right.
There's other stuff that, let me use Huntington Bank. HuntingtonBank.com might be 5th or 6th, and there's other junk before.
Yeah.
My point is, how in the world do you sort all this out? It might be 10 pages of stuff. What's the real one you want?
I'll show you how I do it. When I'm looking up something, I need to look something up. Sir, what's your name? Will you spell your name for me?
Me?
Yeah.
David Perry, P-E-R-R-Y.
David Perry? Wow, well, you have a common name. That's unfortunate. Where are you originally from?
Well, I was born in Wisconsin. I live in Traverse City, Michigan.
You live in Traverse City? I'm from Oak Park, Michigan. Not as nice as Traverse City.
It's cold there.
People talk about cold like, have you been here in June?
That's my middle name.
Let me ask you a question. Have you lived in Fairfax Station, Virginia, Algoma, Wisconsin, and Burke, Virginia?
Yes.
All of those places?
Yes.
You're in your late 70s.
Yes.
Let me see if I can get a picture of your house. Catherine Perry, Patrick Perry, Karen Perry, these are all family members?
Yes.
Okay.
Forgot one son.
May not have forgotten him. He just might know how to keep himself off
my
of
name
it.
is spelled wrong. It's supposed to be capital F with a space.
Oh, I see that. Yeah, LaFond. Okay. I see an address in Michigan. There it is right there. It is 14795. We won't say the name of the street.
Oh, that's not Malware. What is it?
Yeah, it kind of. I wasn't going to name the street, but okay, let's tell everybody where you live. And that you're not home now and for the next few months, right? The house is empty? I'm going to get sued. When I'm looking something up online, okay, a couple of things. I have a free tool here that you can all add to your browser. It's called Web of Trust. Web of Trust. And you have to install Web of Trust individually for each browser you have. Internet Explorer is a browser. Chrome is a browser. Firefox is a browser. So if you want to have My Web of Trust in Firefox, you need to open Firefox, go to mywot.com and install it. And then do that for Chrome and do that for IE. And then you will have it installed. And once it installs, you'll see there's this green circle right up here. You see this green circle? Right up in the top right? This is completely free. And what it's going to do now when I do a Google search is if I type in Dell support, we're going to go back to Dell support, that's a common one. You know the first couple of results are ads, and they even say they're ads in little tiny yellow letters right here to the left, ad. The search results start after this little line right here. Okay? So these are ads that come up as a result of your search, but they're not search results. They're ads. So the first two are ads. The next one has the green circle. And all these others have green circles. I see those green circles. That tells me that the community, the internet community as a whole, has rated that site as safe. It's not a corporation that's deciding this. There's no politics involved. It's just people like you and me, and you can vote on sites and say it's safe or it's not safe. But even if I didn't have Web of Trust, the first thing I look at, I've been there since the introduction of the internet. I'm an early pioneer to the internet, and this is how I've learned. Back before we had all the tools we have today, how I learned to tell if a site was real by simply looking below the link at where it wants to take me. This wants to take me to support.dell.com. Do you see that? Dell.com. That's Dell, Dell.com. If I look below the next one, this one wants to take me to community.dell.com. Yep, that's Dell.com. That's Dell.com. These are all legitimate. Dell.com, Dell.com. Let's go on to the next page. And let's look for, here we go. Dell Wise, that takes you to wise.com. That makes sense if you happen to have one of those. Client support, SecureWorks. That's not Dell.com. If we look through, let me bring this back down, and I try and find that red circle again. It says Dell support, iogi.net. One of these things is not like the other. So I'm not really interested in this paragraph. I'm not really interested in the blue. I'm interested in the green. GetHuman is a great website I just stumbled on through this search that I would like to tell you about. When you call a number, any number, for a company that you get put through an automated system that makes you want to hang yourself with the phone cord, if these darn phones had cords, how do I just talk to a person? So GetHuman, right there, find a phone number. This would be a best way if you wanted to find a number for anybody to call. You want to talk to Huntington Bank? No, we got nothing. But let's try Bank of America. How do I talk to a human being at Bank of America? Oh, right here. Here's the phone number. And then it tells you, keep dialing 0 at the prompts. And, you know, this is the whole process you go through. You don't have to listen. Please listen closely as our menu items have changed. Since when? When did they change? They never changed. Your call is important to us. Yeah, I can tell it is. It's really important. You guys are just dropping everything to get to me. So GetHuman is a great website if you've ever had to deal with those automated phone systems. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that, press 3 for that. Well, we don't do that. Goodbye. Click. Start over. Press 1 for that, press 2. Don't press 3 this time because you know it's going to say we don't do that. You laugh because it's true. Other questions? All right, who's got the mic? Anybody? We're going to make Mary Lou run around. Going to get Mary Lou's going to get some exercise today.
I ran into a similar thing, downloading the owner's manual. I was downloading what I thought was the manual for my camera, and I didn't look at the little thing, and it didn't say, I can't remember what kind of camera. But it busily, for 20 minutes, downloaded a tremendous collection of viruses.
Yes.
And it was $250 to correct my error. Maybe they charged more where I live, but that was...
I charge $125.
It's the airfare would cost me.
You bring up something here, if I can keep my train of thought. Part of my brain's trying to think of something funny to say, the other part. The story you were just telling is about, remind me again, it's about?
Downloading owner's manual.
Owner's manuals, thank you. This is going to get better as I get older, right? Okay, so owner's manuals. She's like, why are you looking at me? How would I know? Owner's manuals. Okay, so here's what happened with owner's manuals. This company called iFixit started publishing owner's manuals to electronics devices that the companies no longer made and no longer had the manuals on their website. So they said, hey, anybody who's got these manuals, other people need them too, so let's all work together and we'll, any manual you previously had downloaded, please upload it to us. Well, then the company said, hey, that's copyrighted material. That's like copying a book. You can't do that because they don't want you to fix your thing. They want you to go buy a new thing. So they said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to take apart electronic items and put them back together and write the manuals backwards. That way we wrote them, they're ours, and the website's called ifixit.com. Want to find a repair guide? There's a bunch of manuals: car and truck repair, camera repair, PC repair, appliance repair, iPod repair, iPhone repair, Microtech Scan Maker 5900. This is a community of people that are working together to recreate the owner's manuals for their hardware and then sharing that with the world. How cool is that? So I love these grassroots organizations that do that. So if I was looking for an owner's manual, I'd be looking at iFixit, or I'd be looking for the manufacturer's site, or I'd be looking for a file that ends in .pdf. If the file ends in .exe, I'm not downloading it, or .com or .scr. One of the things that Windows, or that Microsoft does with Windows, is they hide file extensions by default, and that really upsets me, because how are you supposed to know that's a Word document other than by looking at the icon that looks like a letter W? But that can be faked. That could be an executable file, not a DOC file. And even a DOC file can contain a virus if it's taking advantage of an exploit that's in the version of Office that you have not updated yet to cover you from that exploit. So even documents, if they're not coming from people I know, I'm going to be very cautious about opening those documents. You could open them virtually in something like Google Word or something like that, and then you don't have to worry about it. But I would be looking specifically for a PDF file when it comes to owner's manuals. And anything that I download that's a PDF file, as long as I have, which again could contain a virus, but as long as my Adobe Reader or whatever I'm using to read PDF files is current and up to date, I should be safe. I mean, you've done everything you could do at that point, unless it's just a virus came out that day and you're the first one who downloads it, or you're one of the first. And if that's the case, go buy a lottery ticket, because it's not likely that that's ever going to happen again. But that's called a zero-day exploit. But there's so many people in the world and so many viruses released every day, the idea that the whole odds of you actually running into that are so slim, but possible.
Carrie, we're going to have to wrap things up in about 10 minutes, so if you have something you wanted to talk about specifically, please proceed with that.
How did this go so fast? I've only been up here 10 minutes. Okay, my fault. Let me show you two things real quick. Two things. We talk about backing up your data. I'm going to show you why. This is an older style hard drive, but they haven't changed much over the years. They're pretty much the same shape and size. Sometimes they're silver, sometimes they're black. And when you take the cover off of them, they don't work anymore. Inside is a platter that spins and a needle that moves back and forth. And that needle skirts right over that platter, doesn't actually make contact with it, and a cushion of air, thinner than the width of a human hair. And you can't see it from this angle, but it actually reads both sides of the disk. As you see that, like a needle on a record, except it's reading both sides of the record at the same time, and they can stack up to 4 to 6 records in one of these little boxes. And so as this moves back and forth, That's how your data is being written and being read. Seems a little sketchy, doesn't it? But that's what's making all that sound that's coming from this. It's because this thing's moving backward. People go, you know, you're not supposed to put magnets around your computer. Well, that's 1989 talk. The thing that actuates this, we call this a head. What actuates that is a very strong earth magnet right here. It's right there. And if you ever needed to magnetize a screwdriver, you could just rub your screwdriver on that. And hey man, that's how we did it when we didn't have any money. Now, this is a traditional hard drive. The design hasn't changed much, really at all, over the years. The technology has changed quite a bit in how much they can cram onto one of these little disks. But they're replacing them now with solid-state hard drives. Now, solid-state hard drive, when you take the cover off of it, is a circuit board. All that is there just to make it thicker so it'll fit inside the laptop. They actually have to make it bigger. The technology is so small, they have to artificially make it larger to fit. This is actually all it is. And you can throw that around, and it's still going to work when I plug it in. That has a lifespan of an estimated 75 years, and the new ones, using the 3D technology, should be 1,000 years. What that tells us is that we should very rarely see these fail. But however, when they do fail, I have no idea how you would ever get the data back off of this. With this, you can open it up in a clean room, remove the platters. It's very expensive, several $1,000s, and they can get your data, or can try and get your data off. I know there's techniques, I don't know what they are on solid state drives, but this is basically a large flash drive. This is 1/5 the capacity of that, and this reads 5 times faster than that. It's incredibly fast, incredibly fast. And finally, the last thing I want to show you, this actually belongs to a customer of mine, but I thought it was really cool because I just bought this new laptop. And you'll have to come up and see it. It only weighs 2.3 pounds. It's smaller and thinner than a MacBook Air. It's got the touch screen. You see me pinching the screen and making things bigger and smaller. Well, this is Microsoft's answer to that. This is called the Surface. And the Surface is a tablet, but it's really not a tablet, it's a computer. A tablet's really only good for consuming information. It's not good for creating it. You know, if you try and type an email to somebody or write a book, the great American novel, without a keyboard, no. You might read it on this, but you wouldn't write it. So Microsoft said, well, we'll make a keyboard and a mouse, and we'll magnetize it so that the two just click right together. And now it's a laptop, and you can pull this thing out, and Microsoft signed a deal with the NFL and said, hey, we want the NFL sportscasters to use these. We'll give you $4 million, or $12 million for 4 years, whatever the contract was. And for the first couple weeks, the announcers are going, well, let me show you here on my iPad. Oh, the lawyers went crazy. Let's just say there were some high-level meetings after the first few NFL games to all of the announcers announcing the games, referring to their Microsoft Surface as an iPad. This thing weighs about the same, has about the same processor. And it was pretty much the same cost, about $1,800 for these devices. And you can see these. Microsoft has a store at it's quite a ways away in Scottsdale, Fashion Square Mall. Microsoft has a store, just like Apple has stores in the malls. Microsoft does have one, and they're opening more, and you can use them there. And they probably have them at Best Buy and stuff like that. And they sell these in different colors, and you can buy whatever color you want, or not have one at all. And there's a little stylus you can buy, and a little bag you can buy, and there's all kinds of little add-ons you can buy to plug it into your monitor or to wirelessly have it project to a TV, all kinds of stuff like that. It's very, very fast. This is probably faster than most people's desktops in this room. And I will leave you with one final tip. As a free utility, you should all run on your computer. And it's called the Junkware Removal Tool. Where do you find it? Go to Google and type JRT. That's short for Junkware Removal Tool. find the link to bleepingcomputer.com, which in this case happens to be the very first link that appears. See, it's going to Bleeping Computer. We all have bleeping computers, right? And then it says download now from the author's site. So we'll click that, and then we're going to save it when it asks us. There it goes. It's saving it. Once it's saved, shut everything down. Anything you're in, close it out. If you are working on a project, save it, close it. So leave your antivirus open, that's fine. I save this in my downloads folder. If I go back to my downloads folder, there's JRT, double click on it, give it permission to run, and it gives you an introduction. It says, hey, this is free, there's no warranty express or implied. If it causes any harm, it's not our fault. You're on your own, good luck. Never had it cause a problem. It's updated weekly though, so you don't want to use an old version. Always download it before you're ready to use it. Press any key to continue. First thing it does, it makes a backup of your registry. Now it's going to start clearing the startup entries. Now because this was done on this computer already, this is going to happen pretty quickly, but even in slow computers, it usually doesn't take more than 10 or 15 minutes. When it's done, Notepad will open with a bunch of list of things it's removed, or maybe it'll be empty because, hey, your computer's good. It'd be nice if it was empty. But if it's not empty, that means you removed stuff that shouldn't have been on your computer. So go ahead and restart your computer, and you'll probably find your computer runs a little faster and you freed up some hard drive space. My name is Carrie Holzman. My business cards are up here. Thank you for coming to see me. I'll see you all again in February.
Thank you so much, Carrie. Wonderful presentation.